Now then, so what we're doing today, we're going to look at my book on Salvador Dali. The reason we're looking is because our next project is on Dadaism, or Dada type of pictures. Where are we? Which is stuff that we've kind of been working on before. We've got those. I'm going to show you these a little bit in more detail. But I don't have a book on Dadaism, and I don't even have a book on surrealism. But I do have a book on Salvador Dali, who was a surrealist. So I'm going to tell you what surrealism is, and I'm going to tell you what Dada is. But these are two what's called art movements. So now, if you don't know what an art movement is, it says here, which I've just printed this off Wikipedia. So an art movement is a tendency or style in art with a specific common philosophy or goal, followed by a group of artists during a specific period of time, usually a few months, years or decades, or at least with the heyday of the movement defined within a number of years. Art movements were especially important in modern art, where each consecutive movement was considered as a new avant-garde. So avant-garde means like the latest thing. Right, so Salvador Dali, who we're going to look at, was a surrealist. So I'll read out what Wikipedia says about surrealism. Surrealism was a cultural movement which developed in Europe in the aftermath of World War I and was largely influenced by Dada, which is what we're going to talk about after I've shown you the book. The movement is best known for its visual artworks and writings and juxtaposition of uncommon imagery. Artists painted unnerving, illogical scenes, sometimes with photographic precision, creating strange creatures from everyday objects and developing painting techniques that allowed the unconscious to express itself. So a way to put that into simpler words, something that I might understand, is it was a bit like a dream, the painted dreams, things that weren't real. So we're going to, which is why I want to show you the Dali, and I'm just a bit shocked that I don't have a book on surrealism and I don't have a book on Dadaism, which are two things that I really, really like. So as soon as the bookshops are open, I think that's one of the things I'm going to ask my wife to buy me for my birthday. So, but like I say, we'll come on to Dada later on. But we're going to go to the top camera. So we're going to start with the book. Now, as you can see, this is a really thick book. It's massive, look. And it's done in what's called chronological order. That means if you look at the top here, the dates, 1926, 1925, 1924. So it goes from the early days to the later days. So I'm missing a big chunk out right at the very beginning, because we're starting really with his surrealist things. So as you can see, look, it's very strange, very, very strange indeed. One of the things that I'm going to do with the book is just skip big chunks of it. As you can see, I've just gone straight over to the 1930s to 1931, because it is such a big book and there's so much in here. It'd be a really, really long video to show you everything, but just little things like the really empty landscapes with, you know, not much on, the clocks that are kind of melting or weeping over the sides of different things. This funny shape with like an eye and a nose on, he does that kind of quite a lot. And again, look at sort of quite an empty landscape, and the paintings are very photorealistic. So yeah, so the video might just cut quite a bit from, you know, different things, but one of the comments I've had is that I do far too much talking in these things. I should just let you look at the pictures. So that's what I'm going to try and do this time, but I can't. I get quite excited over the how good the artwork is, because obviously I've bought the book because I found the artwork interesting. And one of the things that you can see that's happening here is starting to put these like props in, holding things up. We've seen a few earlier on, but I think they become a lot more relevant again. So what I do like is the fact that we've got a sketch, and then the really rough sketches, and then the finished painting. Really like that. And again, look, the empty landscape. Earlier on in the book, there was some sketches of a figure with drawers coming out, and can you see this? The supports that's put in, and a giraffe that's on fire. Very strange, very, very strange. But this one is quite famous. I've seen this in real life in the Tate, I think it was, in London. So I've seen this one in real life. That was, I'm pretty sure I saw that in the Tate in London as well. As I recall, it was a very small picture. It's about as big as this book. This one's quite a famous picture. To show you this picture, but I think the one that's under my hand is a little bit inappropriate for this video. So, but this highlights what I'm going to say later on about Dadaism. It was quite a political movement against the fascists, because it was between the world wars, and as you can see, there's a little picture of Hitler there, which Dali was against the fascist movement that was happening, and this picture will have lots of symbolism in it about being against the fascists. I want to show you this, but again, the picture on this page is a little bit, I think, inappropriate. So, but this is called a soft self-portrait, and as you can see, what he's done, this is Salvador Dali in the little picture, and he's next to the painting, and that's supposed to be himself, but it's like a mask, and it's all drooping. But he's put all these props up to hold it up. Really quite interesting the way he's done that. This is quite interesting. Again, look, I mean, we're over to nearly 1945 now, and still got these empty landscapes. Just an eye, just drooping in the middle there. Look, with leaking, I suppose. Okay, so we're up to 1948 now, And this is quite a famous photograph of Salvador Dali with the chair and the cats in the air and the water being thrown. And these elephants with the really long legs, I think that's also quite famous. I'm going to finish with this page. As you can see, there's loads more of the book left, and we've missed out masses of it. But this is we're up to 1973 now, and this is a self-portrait of him painting his wife. But apparently there was like 6 mirrors around, so he could actually see the entire scene from the back and from the front. Absolutely an amazing idea of a picture, just painting himself. So something you can look at for quite a long time, I think, is that picture. So why am I going to talk about Dadaism? Basically, Salvador Dali was a surrealist artist, and surrealism came from Dadaism. So I'm going to show you a few photos of some collage work that Dadaists have done, or after the Dada style, and you'll see that there's a lot of similarities between the strange imagery. But I'm just going to read out a little bit from what I've printed off Wikipedia. So Dadaism was an arts movement in Europe in the early 20th century. The art of the movement spanned visual, literary and sound media, including collage, sound poetry, cut-up writing and sculpture. Dada artists expressed their discontent towards violence, war and nationalism, and maintained political affinities with the radical far left. It was a very political movement, was Dadaism, because it was between the wars. They just had World War I, World War II was about to start, and the fascists, which were very far right, that was left, very far right, and they were opposed to the fascists in the same way we are, because it is illegal in this country. So I'm going to show you a few pictures, and I'll show you quite close. And as you can see, there's a photograph, and then they've done some pictures. Now, I didn't write it down. Can you see that's a picture of Salvador Dali, who we've just looked at? And there's some photographs, and then they've done some painting and drawing in between. So they've cut out his photo, and then they've put these shapes and things in. Now, some of these are modern pictures, and other ones are from the Dada period, which is early 20th century. Can you see? Look, there's a different head on the body here. So a lot of these are done by cutting up newspapers and magazines and then just sticking them. I'll put that the right way around for you. Okay, so that's the kind of thing, I'll go back to this camera, that's the kind of thing that we're going to be doing in the next episode.